Live from the Al Roker Television Studio, this is WTOP 10 News at 10.
Good Monday morning, Oswego, and welcome to Top in the Morning. Today is April 1st, 2013. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Megan Roberts. Coming up this morning, we have a look at your morning commute. Also, New Yorkers can expect to get some help filing their tax returns, and the Syracuse Orange find out who they will be facing in the Final Four. We'll have a more in-depth look at your top stories in just a moment, but first, meteorologist Ryan Farrell will tell us if the snow that I saw this morning in the forecast is an April Fool's joke. Ryan?
Good morning, Megan. And no, unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with some snow upcoming. But right now, looking outside, it's a pretty soggy start to our morning today. You're going to want the rain boots and the umbrella as you're heading out over the next hour or so. Rain to start off the day. We're going to dry out throughout the day. The winds are really going to pick up. That's going to be a big story for today. And it's going to be turning colder as the day progresses. So we're going to be warm to start out and slowly drop throughout the 30s as the day goes on. Here's what our radar looks like right now. The green over us, that is rain. Pretty thick clouds, rain over us, moving off to the east. And as you can see off to the west, there is some blue, and that means there are some snow showers. A lot of colder air working its way, and you can see here's the line right now, pretty much the freezing line, and that's going to be moving into Oswego as the day goes on. More about that coming up in my full forecast, but I'm going to send it back to the news desk.
Thanks, Ryan. Commuters who take the 690 near Hiawatha Boulevard will have to look for an alternate route this morning. 2 lanes are shut down as emergency crews clean up a rollover that happened at about 6:40 this morning. The 2 lanes were closed as crews were working on freeing a passenger from the vehicle. Well, families from New York will be able to get some help filing their tax returns for the year. State and federal officials say families earning $51,000 or less are eligible for the IRS's Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. The program has 3,500 certified volunteers at various locations across the state. Most sites require people to make an appointment, but the program is completely free of charge. Sites can be found online or at 1-800-906-9887. Well, the trucks are roaring and hills are being leveled as construction on Onondaga Community College's new $5 million sports field continues. The work started this winter and is expected to be completed by August. Some highlights coming from the construction include enclosed dugouts, pitching ball pins, a press box, sports field lighting, a backstop, and bleacher seating. The synthetic turf fields will be home to the college's women's softball team and men's baseball team. The Syracuse Orange's win on Saturday against Marquette has advanced the team to the Final Four. Last night they learned who they will be facing in the game that could send them to the championship. Michigan's win against the Florida Gators yesterday gave Syracuse its answer. Both teams, seeded 4th from their regions, will face off in Atlanta this coming weekend. This will be an interesting matchup for Michigan coach John Beelen, who spent 9 seasons as the coach at Lemoyne College. This is the 5th team from Syracuse to make it into the Final Four. Governor Andrew Cuomo is beginning his budget victory tour today. Cuomo will be in Buffalo this morning and Rochester later today to celebrate the $141.2 billion budget that includes taxpayer subsidies for minimum wages, a rebate check to some middle and upper middle class families, and tax breaks for manufacturers. Cuomo was last in Syracuse in October to see how the Central New York Regional Economic Council was spending the money. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Thanks for joining us.
Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
And welcome back. So, Ryan, it was a pretty nice weekend that we had, but it doesn't look like that weather's going to be sticking around.
No, we actually got a taste of spring this weekend. It felt pretty good, but snow is unfortunately back in the forecast. But before that, we're dealing with rain showers right now. Taking a look outside right now at our SkyCam 10 picture. Pretty soggy, kind of gray start to our week, and that's going to continue for the next couple hours here. So here's a look at your WTOP weather headlines. We're going to start out with rain for the next couple hours. Behind that, snow is going to be taking over, but later on in the weekend, it looks like spring is going to make a return. So here is our current radar at this time. The green indicates rain moving over us right now. In behind that, we have some colder air working its way in. And some snow showers are going to take over now, taking a step back. As you can see over Michigan right now, those are actually lake effect showers. So once this system that's over us right now passes off, hey, here I am. Once this system right here passes off to the east, we're actually going to get some lake effect kicking up behind that. This is just an indication of what is to come in our forecast. So for today, starting out with rain, we're going to be in the upper 30s, but as the day progresses, temperatures will be dropping, and by the afternoon, winds will be kicking up into the 20s, gusting up into the mid-30s. Pretty breezy day out there. So for Monday, this cold front is going to push off. That nice spring-like 50-degree weather is pushing off along with that, and the colder air is coming down with that. Now, timing out your day for you, 11 a.m. I think we're going to be dry in the afternoon once that main system pushes off to the east. Building on into the day by 5 p.m. if you're driving home from work. Now, this has us dry right here. I think we might see some flurries start to develop, and then later on into tonight, that's when the lake effect snow is going to kick up. You can see the snow over Oswego right now. That's going to continue on tonight and for tomorrow to start your commute at 8 a.m. And because of this, National Weather Service has issued a lake effect snow watch. This is going into effect tonight and will continue all the way until Wednesday morning. We can expect about 4 to 6 inches of accumulation over that time. It's not really the snow totals that's going to be the big deal. As I mentioned earlier, it's going to be breezy, so that wind is going to push around all that snow. Visibilities will be dropping, so it might be a little dangerous for some driving conditions out there with those slick roads. So that's tonight on into Wednesday. Tonight, we're going to drop down to 29 degrees. As I mentioned, visibility will be poor as the winds kick up. That snow is going to be blowing around for tonight. Tomorrow, I think, is when we're going to see the bulk of the snow. It's going to be snowy and breezy, more of the same of what we're going to see for tonight. We're only going to get up to 30 degrees. Winds 25 to 30. That's going to gust up to 35. So here is a look at your extended forecast. Snow remains in the forecast for Tuesday and Wednesday. But by the weekend, we're up into the upper 40s with some sunshine. We're going to start to see some spring work its way back in toward the weekend. We just have to get through some snow before that.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to the weekend.
Me too.
Ready to get away from this. I thought it was over. It just keeps popping back. Surprise.
Old man winter just won't release us from his grip right now.
No. I saw it on the weather, and I was like, oh, it must just be an April Fool's joke. So when I checked this morning, it was still there, and I was like, oh,
unfortunately, it's not.
All right, well, but this weekend should be looking really nice.
Yes, we just have to get through the snow first.
Yeah, all right, thanks, Ryan. Well, we could learn today whether prosecutors in Colorado will seek the death penalty for accused Aurora movie theater shooter James Holmes. Court documents reveal Holmes' lawyers offered a guilty plea in exchange for avoiding the death penalty, but prosecutors rejected the offer last week. Holmes is charged with killing 12 people and wounding 58 inside the Aurora, Colorado theater last year. An intense manhunt is underway in Texas. It's a search for the person or people targeting public officials for assassination. The latest victim is Kaufman County District Attorney Mike McLeland. He and his wife were gunned down over the weekend in their home east of Dallas. Now, this is the same county where 2 months ago, Assistant District Attorney Mark Hasse was killed as he walked to work. There are no suspects, and the sheriff has not officially said whether the McLeland's deaths are connected to the killing of the Kaufman County Assistant District Attorney, who was shot outside the county courthouse in January. The sheriff says extra precautions are being taken to protect county elected officials as well as the public. Now we're going to take a look at today's most up-to-date financial news with Dan I. Dan?
All right, thanks very much, May. Well, some interesting news to start the week in terms of dependence on foreign oil. In December of 2012, China passed the United States as the leading importer of oil, which may be signifying a change in the global energy production and consumption. Also in December, the states of North Dakota, Ohio, and Pennsylvania together produced more oil, 1.5 million barrels, than the nation of Iran exported. The big winner in this paradigm shift is the United States, which has for years struggled with its dependence on foreign oil. Some experts predict that by the end of the decade even, the United States could be entirely energy independent. More so, the change in political standing based off of oil could be profound, with effects on sanctions held against Iran, as well as other nations in the Middle East. We will have to wait and see how the scenario plays out in the coming months, but surely a good sign to start the week. Now, the winner in last week's Powerball jackpot might have to fork over some of his big payout for child support. The Passaic County Sheriff's Office says Pedro Quezada owes $29,000 in unpaid child support. Authorities say the 44-year-old man has 5 children, ages 5 to 23. He's expected to appear in a New Jersey court today on a warrant for unpaid support. The warrant was issued in 2009, but was stayed pending today's appearance. One of Quezada's sons said that last week his father has hired an attorney and is, quote, working through it. The jackpot was worth $338 million, but Quezada has chosen a cash payment of $152 million after taxes. And finally, to take a look at the Monday numbers, yesterday was Easter, and while many were donning their Sunday best, the primary focus for some is still in the money. The holiday rakes in a whopping $17.2 billion, which breaks down to about $145 per person celebrating the holiday in the United States. Americans also purchased 180 million eggs to be dyed or decorated this year. And while not everyone celebrates in the same way, 88% of American parents polled say that they make Easter baskets for their children. The most telling statistic, though, is 76%. The National Confectioners Association says 76% of people who enjoy eating chocolate rabbits go for the ears first. So that's it. And now we're going to take it back to May.
Okay, thanks, Dan. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Oh, but first, police in Colorado are searching for vandals who struck a church before Easter services. The destruction was so bad the church was going to cancel, but parishioners were determined not to let that happen. Todd Walker has more.
Anyone who goes to church can tell you the church building is only a building.
We were about a block away, received a phone call that the services had been canceled.
The congregation at St. Martin in the Field Episcopal had to be reminded of that the hard way.
This is pure destruction inside, just pure destruction.
The windows were busted, the baptismal font was smashed, and fire extinguishers sprayed everywhere.
They did not really vandalize the altar, which is amazing. They got into some of the communion wine, and I'm sure their heads are hurting a little this morning. That's not the wine you want to imbibe with.
Despite the destruction, despite every reason to go home and be angry, the service still went on.
We started out with sugar cookies and a donated bottle of wine, and then they let us back in, and we could get some bread, some wine, some chalices, and more important, people were coming, so we just said, it's Easter. We're going to have Easter.
While the crime lab investigates, parishioners get a lesson in forgiveness.
If you do not forgive somebody who's done something wrong, it just eats away at you. So forgiveness is really for us. Now, we don't forget, and we do hope that the police are able to catch this person.
And even if they aren't caught, there's a message for that somebody or somebodies still out there.
It's Easter. Whether the building is damaged or not, the church is intact. We are the community, we are the church.
All right, well, coming up after the break, we'll have Brian Tosti with your latest entertainment news and another look at your forecast. Stay with us. You're watching Top in the Morning.
We are the Tigers from Pack 885. And you are watching WTOP. Yeah.
MBA program helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
And welcome back. So Ryan, just when you thought that you could put away the gloves and the boots, you have to take them right back out.
That's right, unfortunately. We're going to be below freezing again. It was so nice this weekend. We were up in the 50s, and we're dropping back down. Outside right now, though, taking a look at our current conditions, we're at 40 degrees, and we have some rain falling at this time. With a bit of a breeze, it feels like we're in the 30s, though, and that's where we're going to be for the majority of today. Taking a look at your class day forecast, starting out in the upper 30s as the day progresses, slowly getting down into the lower 30s and dropping below freezing by tonight. It's going to be breezy for today. Winds will be gusting in the 20s, sustained winds in the 20s, gusting up into the 30s. And that snow graphic right there indicates snow will be back in our forecast. Your current radar at this time, the green indicates rain. That's heading off to the east. That's over us right now. And it's colder off to the west, and they have some snow showers. Buffalo is reporting some light snow at this time, and this is going to head our way. But this is a different system than the lake effect snow that we're going to see for tonight. Once those showers head off to our east, that snow is going to build back into the region. As I mentioned earlier, lake effect snow watch for tonight going all the way through until Wednesday morning. And the wind is going to stay with us over the next few days, gusting up into the 30s. There's another check of your weather. That's what you need to get out the door this morning, so I'm going to send it back to the news desk.
The Easter Bunny got busted for not obeying the rules of the road in California on Saturday. Well, someone dressed up like the Easter Bunny anyway. The Highway Patrol says the man was not wearing a helmet while riding a motorcycle in suburban San Diego. The bunny said he was on his way to an Easter charitable event. He got a warning and no ticket this time, but did receive a lecture to always wear a helmet. Well, now we're going to take a look at your entertainment news with Brian Tosti. Brian?
All right, thanks, Megan. Glee's former leading man, Corey Monteith, has made the tough decision and voluntarily checked himself into rehab. This comes a little surprise to diehard fans of Monteith, who told Parade Magazine in 2011, quote, I'm lucky on so many accounts. I'm lucky to be alive. The star, who was able to graduate from McKinley High School on Glee, was not as fortunate in his personal life. He connects his, quote, out-of-control lifestyle to when he dropped out of high school at age 16. He is now 30 years old. And if you remember seeing G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra, we're now looking forward to seeing the new Joe movie, Retaliation. You may have mixed feelings. The new movie can be considered a sequel, but with the largely new cast in the movie, it almost feels like the revitalization of the first movie. Other reports have noticed the movie to be much more action than in the first movie and has twists and turns with a fairly confusing plot line. And if you're looking for Channing Tatum to be in the same amount of scenes as the last blockbuster hit, there's some more bad news for you as well. Dwayne Johnson, a.k.a. The Rock, takes command as Roadblock and as the lead character over Duke Nukem in the new film. Partying can only get you so far, and that can't be more true than in Lindsay Lohan's case. The former teen star is making headlines all the way from South America for drunk and disorderly conduct, as well as being slapped with an unlawful possession fine. The star was on her final kick of her promo tour in Brazil when she was seen at a club drinking copious amounts of Red Bull and vodka in the VIP lounge before heading out to the streets late Sunday night. Lohan was planning to be back in the States Monday, but this will sidetrack her return for a few days. And it's a little too late for Valentine's Day, but take a look at this wizard of both cards and ladies.
What's your name? Okay, so you just signed the Ace of Hearts. It's Sharpie.
Okay.
It's not coming off.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this card. Your name?
Courtney.
Courtney. Hi. I'm going to take this card, and I'm going to have you bite down on it in between your teeth. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but trust me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my card, King of Hearts. I'm going to sign it. So it's Sharpie. It's not coming off. That card hasn't left your mouth, right? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to fold it up. Now, there's a power in kissing.
Oh no.
And so I need you to put the card all the way in your mouth, and I'm going to put this one all the way in my mouth.
I'm scared.
And then just a quick peck on the lips, just real quick, and the cards should switch.
Oh. No. No.
Show the camera.
I thought it was a pretty funny video when I saw it a couple days ago, and you know, just a really interesting video. But a little bit of April Fools going on today, as it is April Fools. One of those stories wasn't true. Can you guess which one?
I'm going to give it to Lindsay Lohan and kind of try to help her out a little bit and say that that was the one that wasn't true.
You'd actually be right on the nose.
All
Lindsay
right.
Lohan story was a little bit fake. Lindsay Lohan is actually doing well in Brazil, but she is on the last kick of her tour, so that part was true. She actually is coming back to the States today, so a little bit of fake there, but a lot of true with Lohan. It's good to see her back on the right track. There's also rumors that she's going to be on Charlie Sheen's new show. Blanking on the name of it, but
that would,
it's
anger management.
Yes,
yeah.
anger management.
That would
There's been
surprisingly
rumors
be
that-
fitting for her. I
Yeah,
think.
she's going to be back on that, or she's going to be on that as one of the guest characters. So good to see her back on the right track after a little bit of a
Yeah,
rough
absolutely.
trip for her.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So, but that video, what was he trying to do?
Well, I mean, there have been a lot of college videos coming out now where
Right.
people are doing magic trick on the side, and that actually is one of his multiple videos. He's got a bunch of them that he's been uploading, and it was just one of the bigger hits as of late on YouTube. So it was a good one and a nice funny one to start the morning off light.
All right. Well, thank you, Brian.
You're
That's
welcome.
very interesting. So we're going to take one last break, but when we come back, we'll have a final look at your forecast. Stay with us.
The Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Last night, Lori Capricuzzi scored 2 goals on Alya Brian Love. And
Joe, get out. Adam, you're in.
Lori Korpakovsky scored 2 goals on Ilya Brizgalov. Got it!
For decades, the Hotel Syracuse was hands down the premier hotel in central New York, so when the downtown Syracuse landmark closed in 2004 after filing bankruptcy, business and government officials immediately began talking about reinventing and reopening the hotel. Even as many other vacant downtown buildings are coming back to life, the Hotel Syracuse remains closed. Age has had its drawbacks on the historic building, and officials say redevelopment on the building could cost upwards of $77 million. In the end, the hotel would have bigger but far fewer rooms than it does now. A rare and fascinating sight has made its way to Oswego. Recent sightings of bald eagles have been reported along the Oswego River. Several have been spotted in the Minetto area, starting by Gray Road just before the Midway Drive-In. Director of the Oswego Community Department of Community Development, David Turner, says bald eagles are known for congregating near areas with open water, which between the Salmon and Oswego rivers makes Oswego an attraction for the national bird. To find out more information about bald eagles, where you can catch a glimpse of these beautiful birds, you can visit the DEC website at www.dec.newyork.gov/animals. And we're going to take a look at your final forecast with meteorologist Ryan Farrell. Ryan?
As you're stepping out the doors this morning, we're going to be in the upper 30s with some rain showers, but as the day progresses, we're slowly going to go down to the low 30s. It's going to be breezy starting this afternoon, winds gusting up to 35 miles per hour, and we're going to get some snow back into our forecast for later on tonight. That's what you need to get out the doors this morning. I'm going to send it back to the news desk now. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, there's a lake effect snow watch for tonight into Wednesday morning. Now, the snow that passes in this afternoon is going to be different. It's going to be with a separate system heading off to the east. Later on tonight, that's when the lake effect showers are going to start to kick up. So tonight into Wednesday morning, that's when we're going to have the lake effect snow watch. Here in Oswego, we can expect about 4 to 6 inches, but that's not really going to be the big problem. It's going to be the winds gusting up to 35 miles per hour over the next 2 days. That's going to be blowing the wind around, and that's going to cause for some poor visibilities. So tonight, tomorrow, not really during the day, but toward the evening, that's when visibilities are really going to be bad. It's going to be slick out there. You're not really going to want to drive if unnecessary. But as I mentioned, it's only going to be about 4 to 6 inches of accumulation, but that's not really going to be the big problem. So our current conditions outside right now, we're sitting at 40 degrees. As I mentioned, we have rain falling at this time. That's going to move out. We're going to be dropping through the 30s for today. Our radar at this time, here's that snow that I mentioned earlier. Now, I said this is all one system together. This is going to move off to the east, so we're going to have some dry time later on today before the lake effect snow starts to kick up again. We're going to top out at 38 degrees. That's where we are right about now because temperatures will be dropping as that cold front moves off to the east. As I mentioned, we're going to be 20 to 25 miles per hour, gusting up to 35 for today. That's going to start later on this afternoon, and that's going to continue over the next few days. So, I showed this a couple of times earlier. Look at our Skycam 10. It's raining out there right now, but that's going to move off to the east. So, as I mentioned, rain to start off the day. We're going to get some snow showers in there. Clearing up, it's going to be windy. Snow comes back into the forecast. Not really what you want to see for the first week of April.
Well, what you were saying about visibility, so drivers should probably caution when they're coming in later today and tomorrow morning.
Tonight into tomorrow morning and tomorrow night, that's when it's really going to be at the worst.
You think like slick roads and stuff?
Definitely, and visibility under a quarter of a mile. That's pretty bad driving conditions out there.
On another note, outside of the weather, Governor Cuomo will be making his budget victory tour starting in Buffalo, and it's rumored that he'll be coming up to Oswego as well.
Yeah, it's really it's going to be an interesting treat for the students if it's actually true. We've kind of been hoping that it's not an April Fool's gag. Right. People have just been finding out about it today, but it's going to be very interesting to see. I know if he does come, we're going to be all over that at WTOP 10. So
absolutely,
it's going to be fun to see.
Yeah, well. Thank you guys, and that's going to do it for us here this morning. For the entire Top in the Morning team, I'm Megan Roberts. Have a great morning.